In the shadowed corridors of history, among the most influential minds to ever grasp the strings of human behavior, one name echoes louder than most: Niccolò Machiavelli. To some, he is a father of political deceit. To others, a truth-teller unafraid to stare into the darker nature of humanity. Yet, hidden beneath his controversial legacy lies a brilliant blueprint, a path not just for survival, but for intellectual and emotional mastery in an often brutal world. This script is not a summary, nor is it a list. It is an unraveling, an excavation of the mind required to walk through fire without being burned. If you desire a bulletproof mind, forged through a Machiavellian lens, then this is your transformation. From the moment we are born, our minds are conditioned to seek approval, avoid confrontation, and fit neatly within a world that punishes disruption. Society rewards obedience cloaked as kindness, conformity packaged as virtue. But beneath that surface, a more ancient current flows, the raw drive for power, influence, and psychological resilience. Rewiring your brain to embrace the Machiavellian path doesn't mean becoming evil. It means waking up. It means choosing perception over illusion, clarity over comfort, and power over passivity. The first and perhaps most crucial transformation is a shift from emotional impulse to strategic thinking. The average mind reacts. The Machiavellian mind calculates. In every interaction, every relationship, and every decision, your power lies not in how you feel, but in how you respond. The bulletproof mind is one that delays gratification, suppresses reaction, and leans into the uncomfortable truth. Feelings are temporary. Outcomes are not. Your enemy is not pain. It is distraction. Begin to observe your own emotional waves without riding them. Study them like a scientist. When anger flares, ask, what is the leverage here? When love blooms, ask, what is the cost of attachment? This isn't coldness. It is precision. It is awareness that emotions are tools, not tyrants. To rewire your brain in this way, begin with solitude. Solitude isn't loneliness. It is a furnace of selfhood, without the noise of social expectation. You begin to hear your own voice, the one buried beneath years of conditioning. Machiavelli often wrote alone, reflecting on histories and strategies with clarity and detachment. Daily moments of strategic solitude, even 10 minutes. Train the brain to detach from chaos. In this stillness, your mind sharpens. You begin to predict the moves of others, not because you are psychic, but because you are observant. You learn the subtle art of detachment, a psychological tool few master, but one that shifts your identity from pawn to player. Next comes the dismantling of the moral binary. The world is not divided into good and evil. That is a child's framework, simplistic and brittle. The Machiavellian mind understands a spectrum. A lie told for peace may be kinder than a truth that destroys. A betrayal may lead to freedom. A ruthless act may end greater suffering. This moral flexibility is not chaos. It is nuanced ethics. To rewire your brain is to unchain it from inherited guilt. Ask yourself, whose morality am I living by? What did I inherit without questioning? Real power begins when you redefine your own values, not from religious dogma, not from cultural narrative, but from clarity. What do you truly believe? Why do you think mercy is better than control? Why do you fear manipulation when the world itself manipulates constantly? To embrace this mindset is to step into sovereignty. You are no longer a servant to borrowed virtue. You become your own philosopher. Another core restructuring lies in your understanding of people, not as idealized beings, but as creatures of instinct, fear, vanity, and desire. Machiavelli's brilliance lay in his brutal honesty about human nature. People are not logical. They are reactive. They crave significance, attention, and validation. They lie to themselves more than others. When you internalize this, you stop expecting others to be fair, kind, or consistent. You start anticipating behaviors based on incentives. This rewiring lets you predict, not just react. It arms you with the ability to shape outcomes, not chase approval. Study the faces of people. Watch what makes them insecure. Observe how they change under pressure. The bulletproof mind does not hope, it studies. It watches the patterns. In every room you walk into, train your brain to ask, who has power here? What do they want? What are they hiding? Next, you must destroy the myth of equality, not in worth, but in ability and drive. All men are not created equal in outcome. Some have greater willpower. Some will break under pressure. Some are ruled by lust, others by greed. The bulletproof mind does not treat everyone the same. It adapts. It categorizes. It understands the difference between a sheep and a wolf, between a weapon and a weakness. When you stop projecting your ideals onto others, you start seeing them as they are. This creates a kind of superpower, the ability to navigate with clarity. You no longer trust blindly, nor do you hate. You understand. And in understanding, you gain advantage. Train your brain to love discomfort. Comfort is the breeding ground of mediocrity. The Machiavellian mind thrives in tension because it is in tension that strength is revealed. Sleep on the floor. Take cold showers. Have the hard conversations. Face the fears you've avoided for years. Each moment of chosen discomfort rewires your amygdala, reduces fear response, and builds emotional armor. Most people run from hardship. The Machiavellian embraces it, not because he enjoys suffering, but because he sees its utility. Pain is information. Discomfort is data. Repetition in adversity creates not just resilience, but mental elegance, the ability to move through chaos with grace. Another key rewiring involves language. Language is not just communication. It is weaponry. Every word carries emotional weight. The Machiavellian mind knows how to phrase, reframe, and redirect. Learn the art of strategic silence. Learn when to flatter, when to provoke, when to seduce through ambiguity. Control the narrative. Train your brain to think 5 sentences ahead. Reprogram your inner voice to speak with intention. Remove passive phrases. Speak in outcomes, not feelings. This not only changes how others see you, it alters how your neurons fire. The more control you have over words, the more control you have over perception, yours and others. Above all, you must kill the addiction to validation. The Machiavellian mind operates independently of applause. Approval is currency for the weak. The bulletproof brain acts based on internal logic, not external praise. You must detach from a need to be seen, liked, or celebrated. Build in silence. Move in silence. Validate yourself through accuracy, not popularity. This doesn't mean being isolated. It means being untouchable. The moment you stop fearing judgment, you become immune to it. This is the final form of freedom. The Machiavellian doesn't act to be admired. He acts to achieve. And the results speak louder than virtue signals ever could. In this rewiring, you will lose friends. You will offend the fragile. You will threaten the insecure. But you will also gain something rare, authentic power. Not the kind bought with charm or luck, but the kind carved through discipline, clarity, and ruthless self-awareness. Your mind, once clouded by fear and fantasy, becomes a fortress. Each step, from emotional detachment to strategic thinking to linguistic precision, is a brick in that fortress. Machiavelli never demanded that you be cruel, only that you be aware of how the world works, aware of what truly moves people, aware of your own inner wiring and how to reforge it. This script is not a lesson. It is a blueprint. Burn it into your psyche. Let it become the foundation from which you operate. Because once you rewire your brain like a Machiavellian, the world no longer controls you. You control the world.